the group, we determine the structure of group based on certain criteria. So the first one is size. So size is basically how many people are there in the group. Basically, there can be 10 people, 20 people, 100 people, 1,000 people, millions of people. So if you are taking a state, there will be this number of people. If you are taking a country, it will be again increased. So the size determine the that how influential or how much it like involved with the people's life. That is the one indication of the increasing size of group. Another one factor is roles. Role means group members have to take different roles and responsibilities based on their skills, interest, and expertise. So they can't just be exist in the group. They have to be actively part of that group. So if a person in the group doesn't have any kind of skills, they have to develop. Otherwise, that person will become a kind of liability to the group. So, and obviously, that person will also know about that. Definitely, no one wants to be a just be part of the group. So they want to be active. So they will take themselves as a role because they feel that responsibility. So the based on the different kind of roles that is existing in a group can also give the idea of the structure of group. And another criteria or another factor is norms. So norms are basically unwritten rules and expectations that govern behavior within a group. So it can be explicit or it can be implicit and can be established through verbal or non-verbal communications. For example, if it's a group of friends, you just simply take a group of friends, there will be a kind of a non-verbal communication that they can only understand. Oh, uh, oh, the certain like in a group of professionals, they know what are the protocols or conduct of like behavioral conduct that they have to do in that context, even it is not written anywhere. Because there are certain things. So these norms again give the structure of the group, how the structure is functioning. And another factor after norm, the next factor we can take it as communication. So communication as a key element. It's a very important key element of a group structure, as it allows members to share information, express ideas, and coordinate their actions. So basically, the communication have the three functions within the group, which is share information, express idea, and coordinate their actions. So effective communication can help promote collaboration with group cohesion. So that we will look what is group cohesion. So communication is very important, whether it is verbal or non-verbal or whatever it is, written, unwritten. Communication should be happen and it should be clear. Then it will help the group to uh, enhance their function. And another factor that we can use to identify the structure of the group is power dynamics that is happening in the group. So power dynamics basically the distribution of power and influences within a group. So this can be influenced by factors such as social status, expertise, and other skills. So we can take if we are taking a political party, it's a group basically. It's a group based on we can take as a social identity or voluntary association that some people are identify themselves interested to that. Or some people identify as an identity issue and they are being part of a political party, whatever it is. So there will be a power dynamics within that political party because there will be a head person and there will be a proper hierarchy and each person have each role and each person have uh, power in their hand. so that they can exert on others to change their course of life. That is what we mean by power dynamics. So definitely the power dynamics will give the size or the structure or the 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 way the group is formed. And the another major factor that we can use to identify the structure of group is decision making process. How the group is making decisions. The process by which a group make decision can also impact its structure. Some groups may use a democratic process while others may rely on the expertise of a single leader or a small group of members. So we, you know, you know. So if it's a proper democratic way the decision of a group is made, then we can understand that the group is very transparent, it's very democratic, it's respecting everyone's voice. So it's a healthy. So if it is not like that, or it's a kind of a dictatorship or something, then definitely like other people have to obey whatever it is. So how the decision making process is happening in a group, we can identify or we can understand, and that process can change or form or whatever. Anything can do to the structure of the group. So these are the some of the major factors that we can determine or what is the structure of the group, or these are the things we can say like these things can change the structure of the group. Yeah, it can change the existing structure of the group to some other structure. Yeah, it is possible. So these are the major some of the factors that we can say that determine the formation or the structure of group. Okay. So till now everything is clear. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the next part that we have is types of group. So there are different types of groups, various types of groups with unique characteristics and purpose. So we determine the type of groups based on their unique characteristics and the purpose that the group is existing. So we will discuss some of the common types of groups. There are more. So the first type of group we can take social groups. These groups formed around social relationship. So they may be based on shared interests, hobbies, or activities, and their way as a way to meet new people and socialize. Basically, the purpose of this group formation is socialization. Like, yeah, like all kind of activities. Like we are going for like family tour, everything. Like whatever happening in the day-to-day life of ours. In one way or other way, we are part of some kind of social group because we want to socialize. So another type of group we can put into the context is task group. So these are the group which is formed to complete a specific task or achieve a particular goal. So for example, in the time of pandemic, government constitute the task force to a special task force to fight COVID, and there will be a special task force for when the time of disaster management. So those people's purpose and their uniqueness is they have a task, they have to complete it. And those people will be uh, like for like if we want to take the everyday example, we can take school. So in school, we have a group of people that we call faculties or teachers or academicians. So their task is to make the student capable of doing things their own, understanding things in their own way, having a scientific temper, being a political being. Such kind of things should be fostered in student. That is a task of the teacher. So these kind of groups are made for completing tasks. So we call them task group. And another section we have is support group. We make groups based on our support system. So it's basically to provide emotional support or advice and guidance to individuals facing a particular challenge or issue. So, for example, we can say Alcoholic Anonymous group. If you have anyone familiar with the alcohol de-addiction treatment and everything. So in de-addiction treatment, we use this Alcoholic Anonymous. That it's a peer group. No, it's not a not peer. It's not peer group. Like a yeah, it's peer group basically. Like the people who were having a particular kind of behavior, which is alcoholism. So they will be coming together and sharing their own experiences. Anonymous, and it is one of the highly uh, efficient, evidence-based approach that we have in de-addiction processes. Alcoholic Anonymous, and we have this cancer support groups. Like these kind of groups are basically for support people who are in need of emotional, physical, psychological, financial support, whatever it is. So there will be a group which will be forming for support. Support group are there, and there will be therapy groups. So therapy groups basically group therapy we can say basically group therapy, and it will consist of uh, group therapy. It is very specific into the context of therapy session itself. But therapy group, we can also say take that the people who do different therapies, they make a group. People who are going through mental health issues, they will make a group, and they may taking different therapies. All the people, they will make a group and they will share their experiences and everything, which will help them. That is actually means therapy groups. It's not the group therapy. Group therapy is a therapeutic process. Therapy groups is like people who are having issues with the mental health condition, any kind of condition. They are creating. We have a listening community in India, which is working all over India, helping, which is providing a safe, healthy space to express their concern, which is it's called listening community. So these are therapy groups. We can call therapy groups. Then there is
So for the
self-help
addictions,
groups.
what we have given, what we have given as an earlier example for
Sorry,
addictions and rehabilitation,
I think
these and all
you.
come under therapy base. For addiction and all, what you have given as an earlier example, that also
Uh-huh.
is a part of a therapy base. Like we are just making an
Yeah,
analogy.
that is part of psychotherapy. That is part of psychotherapy. It's not part of social psychology. Yeah, basically. That is coming with the because group therapy again is a uh, properly designed, structured therapy method, but it have a group of people. That's the difference. But it's a goes with therapy. So
Sir, can you tell which unit is this?
it's group.
18.
It's
Okay, sir.
the 20th group. Then yeah, then there is we have other kind of groups, which is interest group, formal group. So these are like you can see if you take a social psychology book, you can see many more different types of group, which is people associate, create a group based on anything. Now we have groups in WhatsApp, we have group in social medias, all kinds of social medias. We have groups in virtual world. So wherever people associate together for a common interest, for a common purpose, that's a group. And we can call it a name which is appropriate for it. Yeah. So that's the different types of the group. And this groups actually helps people. So if you are taking an individual may be the part of different kind of group, because it's actually helping the person to socialize. So now this is all about group and what is group and everything. Now we are into the another section called role. Uh, what is role? What is concept of role? Basically, in the context of group only, we can talk about the concept of role. The role refers to the pattern of behavior or actions expected of a person in a particular position or situation. So roles are defined by the expectations and norms of the group and can be influenced by factors such as personality, skills, and expertise. So a role is basically a pattern of behavior or action expected from a person in a particular field. So every in a family there is father, mother, children, daughter, son, whatever it is. Or in a school there will be principals, teachers, students, non-teaching staff. So each people have their own role and they have to exercise those role. Otherwise, it will affect the function of that group, which is institution in this context. School. So that is very important. Role, the concept of role. So every member of a group is expected to play one or more roles that contribute to the function of the group. So these roles may be formal, such as the role of leader or spokesperson, or informal, such as the role of peacemaker or a humorist, anything. Or like, so it depends. So a person have to take multiple roles even in one day. The time that person wake up till the time that person sleep, that person is taking different kind of roles in different contexts. Maybe as a friend, as a teacher, as a professional. These are different roles, and these different roles need different skills, and these different skills we learn through socialization process or professional training. Every role need particular skill. That's why we are saying that being husband and wife and being mother and father is two different things. You can be husband and wife. It's fine. You don't need a specific skill for it. You have to love each other. That is fine. But being or becoming father and mother is not something naturally you will get. Yeah, obviously will be naturally will become father and mother. But the role of parents is something that we have to be trained. We have to know the child. We should know. That is why we have this parenting skills. We have workshop for parenting skills. We have workshops for how to deal with special kids, because they are kids. Teachers, like primary school teachers, have skills. Like they have trained for teaching them. So just imagine that how much training a parent should need to teach a child the socialization process, because at least in the school it is a controlled environment that the teacher can control the student and do the learning process. And imagine the context of a parent. No, there is no controlled environment. It's a natural environment, natural habitat of the child, and you have to regulate their social behavior. You need skill. Like we need skill. Whoever is going to become a parent, the person needs skill. Otherwise, it will affect the psychological, social, moral, emotional development of the child. If you check most of the psychological issues that we have in particularly in our country in India, you can see the traces to the parenting issues. So that is there. So so this roles, again we are taking role. So roles can be either task oriented or social oriented. So we can divide roles into these two categories: task oriented or social oriented roles. Task-oriented roles involve activities related to achieving the group's goals, such as planning, organizing, and executing tasks. And social-oriented roles involve activities related to maintaining positive relationship within the group, such as providing emotional support, mediating conflicts, and promoting group cohesion. So, like two different roles: task-oriented role and social-oriented. When individuals are assigned roles, they are expected to fulfill the responsibilities associated with those roles. For example, a leader is expected to provide guidance and direction to the group, while a mediator is expected to help resolve conflicts and maintain positive relationships. A mediator should not do a mediator should not provide guidance and direction to the group. And a leader should not do leader can do resolve conflicts and maintain positive relationship. A leader can do, because that is why that person became leader. But still, we are allocating this role because we have to reserve our resources. Because a person is doing multiple roles, then we are actually wasting that person's resources. We are not, that person won't be able to utilize their efficiency completely, because they are being distracted maintaining multiple roles. No, it is a bad practice. Person should, in a particular context, a person should only have a particular role, and that role should be well defined, well written, and there should be clear cut distinction between what that person should do and what that person should not do, because that boundary will give the person to reserve their resources for coming works. That's the thing. So understanding the concept of roles is important in group dynamics, basically, as it helps individuals understand their responsibilities and contribution to the group, and also helps group functions more efficiently and effectively by ensuring that each member is fulfilling their role and contribution to the group success. But there are certain things that 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 predict the that the chance of how much the role can be done. So before that, we have to look into two other concepts called role enhancement and role expectation. So before that, till now, everything is clear to everyone. Is there any doubt about what I explained on role and concept of role and everything? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So now we can look role enhancement and role expectation. So role enhancement basically the process of improving or strengthening one's role within a group. So we have to strengthen, a person should strengthen the role within a group, improving or strengthening one's role within a group. This can be done through a variety of methods, including developing new skills, gaining more knowledge, or taking on additional responsibilities. Yeah. Role enhancement can help individuals feel more invested in the group and increase their sense of belonging and fulfillment. It's very important. If a person in the is not involving in the process of role enhancement, will have problem with the sense of belongingness to the group, and they may have issues with their competency, their self-esteem or self-confidence, because there is nothing is changing with them. They are static. They are being static. The momentum is not there. So role enhancement is very important for both the group, the well-being of the group, and well-being of the person. And role expectations is another thing. So this expectation and enhancement it's working together. Always enhancement happens when expectation is there, but it is not necessary. Sometimes the role enhancement will happen by the intrinsic motivation of the person itself. But sometimes that enhancement happens with the expectation of the role. So that expectation plays a significant role in role enhancement, as they set the standards and goals for what is expected of individuals in a particular role. For example, as a student is expected to have a good academic record or extracurricular record and good behavioral conduct. Overall, as a student, the person should acquire certain qualities. So that is the expectation. So that person who possesses the role of a student should fulfill that expectation by enhancing their role. So they will design their lifestyle. They will study. They will make punctuality. They will may become disciplined. Basically, so these kind of expectations, and we as a human, like we as a person, genuinely work towards for that expectation, and it should be a realistic expectation. It should not be a kind of that the student should get full mark on every subject. No, it's an idealistic expectation. It's not possible. That will give unnecessary problem for the student. So again, expectation should be with touch with the reality that is there. So expectation can be explicit or implicit, and can be influenced by factors such as the group's norms, culture, and values. Meeting or exceeding expectations can lead to increased confidence, recognition, and respect within the group, while failing to meet expectation can lead to disappointment or loss of trust. That's what I was said before. Because the people who set the expectation, or the person who set keeping an expectation for oneself, the student is setting a kind of expectation for oneself that I will finish studying everything by tonight. No, it's not good. But it's not possible. In reality, it is not possible. It may be possible in the fantasy, but in reality, it is not possible. So the expectation should be always aligned with the reality. Otherwise, it will definitely hamper the dynamics of the group and the mental health of the person. And so,
expectation
yeah,
always sets the limitations for me. It's like it bounds them to go out of their nature of behavior. Because if
yeah.
somebody
See,
is expect us to,
see, expectation means like so. My parent is expecting me to be a better person, financially independent. So, and that expectation is not something bad. And I also want to attain that, or I also want to acquire that, earn that. I want to be financially independent. I want to be a better person for the society. Yeah, and that is my parents' expectation. And there, that expectation is a motivation for me actually. So expectations are good. Expectations are healthy. Expectations are bad. Expectations are unhealthy. So it is not about the expectation. It's about how you are expecting the expectation, or how you are designing your expectation. So expectations are is a good motivation, is a good drive for a person to do certain things. Yeah, expectation is good, but we have to be very careful that the other person is capable of carrying that expectation, because expectation have weight. Expectation always carry weight. So we have to be very careful what kind of expectation we are giving to another person, regardless of their age, gender, whatever it is. So, and when they get to know that we are having that kind of expectation, for example, a student who is brilliantly studying, and and after a point that a student get to know that their parents and relatives and teachers and everyone is having a high expectation on that student, that the student will achieve like completely everything on their academics. I have seen many students like that in my practicing life. So it's like that is a huge expectation that will hamper the cognitive process of the student. And why it is hampering the cognitive process? Because that expectation will lead to certain kind of anxieties that the person is not able to handle. The child is not able to handle that anxiety. Maybe the grown adult can be, but the child brain is not designed to do that. So that expectation, that kind of anxiety will cover the whole cognitive part, and the brain will shut down, and it will affect their cognitive process, and definitely they will fail in the academics. So then suddenly everyone said that that student was good till class this, and suddenly we don't know what happened. It started failing. It is not because of suddenly, it's because of you people, like other people. It's not the fault of the student. It's the fault of the parent. It's fault of the teachers. You should understand the student. We should understand the student. In the context of school, it is like that. In the context of family, in the context of a workplace, in the context of a hospital, everything it should be like that. So expectation is good. Expectation is needed, but it's like how we are handling everything. But nothing is bad, nothing is good. It's about all about how humans are handling it. So we are coming to the next topic of role, which is role location and role skills. So these two concepts are also very important in the area of the concept of role. So role location basically refers to the position or place where an individual role is situated within a group. Um, we can put it in another words, like it refers to a specific role that a person plays in a group and how it relates to the roles of other group members. So we can place the location of that person in that group. So we can say like that, uh, for example, a chief minister is the head of the state, and the governor is the representative of the honorable president. So we can place these people, and if we are taking like our political system, like we can take that there is chief minister, there are other ministers, they have protocol, they have different hierarchy and designation. So this is role location basically. So this role location is by identifying the role location, we can understand uh, how much that person is possessing the power on that group, or how much power that person can exert on that group, or what are the areas that the person is connected in that particular group. So role location will help to identify the dynamic of the person in that particular group. And another section is role skills that we have already said. So this, when we are taking this role location and we have identified a person who is dealing with multiple roles in a particular location, in a particular group, who is doing multiple things, and that person should be needing multiple skills. So it is not just that skill. For example, for teaching, you need multiple skills. We need that subject knowledge, whatever it is there in the discipline. We should know that, and we should also know how to communicate, how to disseminate this knowledge to other people. And there is a way to do that. We call it teaching skills or pedagogical sciences. So the person should have the communication skill, the person should have the knowledge. So there are multiple skills that the person should possess to function as a faculty or a teacher or a doctor or an engineer or a social worker, whatever it is, whatever it is called. So this role skills is basically specific abilities. It is not just abilities. Okay. So reading is an ability, but reading an article is a specific ability. Not everyone can read and understand an article. It needs a specific training. One should know how to read and understand, decode the article. Listening to music and a musician listening to music is different. So, so there are specific abilities, specific competencies, and qualities that are necessary to effectively fulfill a particular role within a group. So different roles require different skills, and individuals may need to develop and refine their skills over time to effectively fulfill their role. So for example, like I said, a leader may have to have strong communication and decision-making skills, like that. Each people should need particular skills, and they have to. It doesn't mean that once they gain the skill that they are done with the skill. No, we have to polish, because person stops exercising a particular skill, it will slowly fade away. We may remember that we had that skill, but our brain is not is not able to recall that process of exercising that role or that skill. That's the thing. So that is about the role location and role skill. And now we are coming to the another section called self role congruence. So this is something very much similar to the concept of Carl Rogers in humanistic theory, humanistic school of psychology. We can see there is this ideal self and real self. So what in Klein person-centered therapy, Carl Rogers saying that there should be a congruence between the ideal self and real self. self-role congruence is the degree to which an individual self-concept is aligned with the expectations and responsibilities of their role within a group. So there are certain things, if this not happens, if the self-role congruence is not happening, instead of that self-role incongruence is happening, then there will be a lot of issues. So we will look into that. So if the self-role congruence is high, which is the person is very much aligned with the expectation and responsibilities of their role within a group, and their self-concept. So I am a punctual person. I am saying that I'm a punctual person, but in my real life, no, I'm not a punctual person. If I have to be a good student, I have to be punctual. So I may be punctual in my school, but I am not maybe punctual in my personal life, in my personal things. So there is a congruence between that. So if the congruence is high, the self-role congruence is high, the individual feel comfortable and confident in their role within the group, and their actions and behaviors are consistent with the expectations of the group. So basically, this will help the group. If it is a family, yeah, it will help the group. If the father and mother go with the family in a congruence manner, that their self as a human person, an individual, and role as a parent is going in a congruent way, and then the family will flourish. And if it is not, then the family will broke. So that's happened. So if the self role congruence is low, then definitely there will be a discomfort, uncertainty, and sense of being out of place from the group. Those things can happen. So self role congruence is very important for the healthy functioning of the group and the person. Self role congruence. So I think till now everything is clear.
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, I wanted to know about like the particular word congruence, if they are.
Yeah, congruence is basically how much it is aligned together. So, for example, in this concept actually came from this ideal and real congruence, ideal self and real self congruent conflict, basically in the person-centered theory or therapy in humanistic approach. So basically, there will be an ideal self that I wanted to become. That, for example, like I want to become a person who is having a good communication skill, a person who have a good social skill, who's good in academics, he's good in uh, everything. Everything that I'm doing, I should be good. That is my ideal. Want to be those kind of things. But in reality, as a person myself, no, I wake up at 11 o'clock in the morning. I sleep 2 o'clock at the night. I don't do my works. I procrastinate. I eat like some kind of random food. I don't have a healthy lifestyle. So this is in reality me, and the ideal me wants to do those things. So this is not going together aligned. No, so this will make a lot of problems. So ideal self, when the ideal self comes with contact with the real self, when this real self and ideal self will come in contact with each other, then the progress happens. So there should be it won't be saying, obviously, the ideal self and the real self in the context of social psychology here, self and role. So self and role won't be all like merged or fused together. Obviously, there will be a kind of gap, but it should, the self role congruence, that alignment should be in such a way that the function of the group and the functioning of the individual should not be hampered. So that is what self-role congruence means. Am I clear? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah. So now we have a couple of things, and we have a little bit time, so I will go a little fast. We have certain processes that uh, help the group to exist. To, to exist. The formation is there. We looked into the formation, how the group is forming, what are the possible goals or purpose, and all those things. But a group should also maintain, should exist. It should exist. It's not like it is started and then dead. No, it should start and should exist for a long time. It have a particular purpose to serve. So if a particular company is starting today and it's closing next week, then what is it? No, it should not be like that. A startup is starting, and it should grow. It should grow and grow and grow and stay. So that is the purpose. So there are certain things that we have to take in consideration if we want to keep the group stay or exist for a long time. So the first one is group cohesiveness. So group cohesiveness is basically the extent to which group members feel connected to and supportive of each other and are motivated to work together towards a common goal. Group members should feel connected to each other and supportive of each other. These two things, and are motivated to work together towards a common goal. So these three things should be there to have a group cohesiveness. So it's very important. So it is a measure of the strength of the interpersonal relationships and degree to which group members feel a sense of unity and shared identity. So sense of unity and shared identity. These two things are very important for group cohesiveness. Okay. Sense of unity and shared identity. Connection between sense of belongingness and the common goal and the motivation to achieve that common goal. So these are the things that help the group to cohesive, to keep together, to glue together. And if it is going good, then definitely it will grow. And another factor which a psychologist or a social psychologist have to be look into consider the like take into consideration is social facilitation. So social facilitation is another phenomena in which the presence of others affects an individual's performance on a task. We can we can say that the origin of social psychology started with social facilitation. So basically, it's like this is how actually social psychology started. We can say that basically in the presence of another person, the behavior of the other person is changing. Basically, this is what you hear also they are saying specifically. Social facilitation refers to the tendency for people to perform better on simple or well-learned tasks in the presence of others compared to when they perform the task alone. So, for example, a person is uh, running in the ground, exercise or practicing or someone alone, and and there is two people. They are working together and they are practicing together. And if we are taking these two tasks, if these two activities, the second one will be more productive and more engaging because there is two people, so there is kind of a competition or kind of a shared goal or a kind of sense of unity, and all those things are there. So the presence of the other person influenced each other, and that will lead to the enhanced production. It's a basic concept, which is social facilitation. We also do like some people may withdraw from the group in the presence. It is not mandatory that always everyone will perform well in the presence of other person. Some people may perform bad in the presence of other person. That is also social facilitation, but not exactly we don't call social facilitation. Uh, but social facilitation specifically is that the presence of another person enhancing the particular behavior of a person. So social facilitation can occur due to the arousal and motivation that individuals feel in the presence of others. When individuals are being watched by others, they may experience heightened level of arousal, which can lead to increased effort and attention. This can lead to improved performance on simple or well-practiced tasks. But social facilitation can also have a negative impact on performance for more complex or novel tasks. So the thing is, uh, in certain situations, social facilitations are not allowed, and in certain situations, social facilitations are allowed. So basically, it's very complex phenomena, and sometimes it won't be under our control. For example, a competition. For example, a competition. So there is this facilitation that athletes are and other sports people are there on the ground, and everyone is looking at them. So they know that the whole gallery is looking at them, and that attention from a lot of people to particular person or to a group of people will definitely will give them a kind of emotional arousal, a kind of anxiety, a kind of stress, a kind of excitement, a happiness, like a colorful combination of emotions. So then definitely it may have the impact on their performance. So if they are well trained, yeah, they will perform well. They are not well trained, yeah, they won't be able to perform well because of that excessive emotional arousal will dominate their skills. But if they are well trained, they will be able to regulate their emotional arousals, and they will perform well in their skills. So social facilitation is good sometimes, not all the time. So another one is social loafing. So social loafing is basically uh, like how individuals in a group put effort in the context. It's like basically if a person um, if they are working alone, they will put less effort. That is what they are saying, because this basically the reason behind this thing they are saying is that it's because individuals may feel that their individual effort will not make a significant difference in the overall group outcome, or they may feel that their effort will not be recognized or rewarded. Basically, social loafing can occur in many different group settings, such as in the workplace, in education settings, or in sports team also. It can lead to decreased motivation and productivity within the group, as well as reduced overall group performance. So basically, there are several factors that can contribute to social loafing, including the size of the group, the level of anonymity within the group, the perceived distribution of effort within the group. So there are many factors which contribute to social loafing. So group cohesion and motivation can also play a role in social loafing, basically, because individuals who feel more connected to and invested in the group may less likely to engage in loafing behavior, basically. So this social scientists or social psychologists have identified certain strategies to address social loafing. So there are certain process that we can implement in the group settings to reduce social loafing. So certain things are setting clear and specific goals. That's what we were saying about the role. So no one's effort will be shared by another one, or no one's credit of their effort won't be shared by other person. So there should be a clear cut uh, the setting of their role and their goal and everything. The another strategy is providing individual recognition and feedback. That we have to identify the effort and the course that they have put, and we should give feedback to that. Not we should give them reward or punishment. It's about feedback, recognition, and feedback. It doesn't mean that you are appreciate all the time to keep the question. No, should give feedback, genuine feedback. That is the one strategy. And another one is emphasizing the importance of individual effort within the group. So individual effort is very important because group means individuals. One more than two or more than two means group. So basically it is group, but it is individuals. N number of individuals makes a group. So it's that effort counts. Everyone's efforts counts. And additionally to that, increasing group cohesion and motivation through team building exercises and other social activities can help reduce social loafing, like giving everyone equal reward in a point, like after a big project for in a workplace settings, after a big project, everyone is getting a vacation, like equal. No one is getting big, no one is getting small, nothing. Because everyone put their efforts. So certain team building exercise, certain workshops are there. So these things will help to reduce social loafing. So these are the certain processes that that determine the existence of a group. Social loafing, uh, social facilitation, group cohesiveness. These are some of the major social psychological processes of human processes that can help to exist a particular group. So this is it for today. Um, any questions? Any comments? Anything?
Sir, can you please explain role enactment? Sir, there is a term. Can you please explain it, sir?
Role enactment or role enhancement?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Which one? Role enhancement or
role
enactment is a term. It is
role
role
enactment.
Role enhancement.
Enactment, sir.
Role enactment.
Yes, sir.
Enactment. Okay. Okay. Role enactment. Basically, that is also part of this group behavior, role enactment. Basically, it's a process of taking on and performing a particular role or identity in a given situation or a context. Like you have to enact, you have to act, you have to
according to the
exercise.
audience performance as per the
Exactly. So this may involve like assuming a set of behaviors, attitudes, and beliefs that are associated with that role, and engaging in interaction and relationship with others based on those expectations, basically. So, for example, we are taking if we are taking this example, this class as an example. I have the role of kind of a faculty member, and we have the role of a learner. So I have to behave and perform in such a way. Otherwise, I am not eligible to possess that particular role. If I am, if a group is giving me a particular role and they believe that I have a certain skills or capabilities to exercise or fulfill their particular goal, which is finishing this particular paper. So that is my goal, that I have to finish social psychology paper in this month. And I should have the knowledge, I should have the skill, and I should enact also. I should exercise also. It's not like that I have the skill, I have the knowledge, but I'm not taking classes. What is the use? So role enactment is not only about taking classes. I have to make sure that the concepts are explained in a way that everyone is understood. At least some of them are understood. So this is role enactment. Basically, process of taking on and performing a particular role or identity in a given context or situation. So in this context, as a faculty member, this is how I am supposed to be behave and perform. But once this class is over, I'm back to my other social role as a fun. So I don't have to behave like this or perform like this. So that is basically role enactment. Am I clear?
Thank you, sir. Okay, sir. Clear, sir. Clear.
Sir, can you tell the theories which is related to the course? Any
theories? Oh, that basically
which is related to the theories. Only name.
Sorry.
Only name means like which is related to the course. Any theories which is so that we can go.
Theory. Yeah, definitely I will add those things in the group, but for discussion, there are a lot of theories basically we have. One, give me a moment to decide. Basically, there are a lot of theories. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, social psychology was there is a lot of theories because we are that atmosphere and
Thanks for
we
interfering,
have.
madam. I just need the headings of two theories, two or three theories.
Yeah, sorry,
Once
sorry.
I get the answer, you can. Thank you.
Yeah. So we can take, for example, we can take social identity theory, for example. For group cohesiveness, there is social identity theory, there is social exchange theory, there is group norms theories, there is balance theory. You can actually take all most of the social psychological theories to understand group cohesiveness, because group cohesiveness happens in multiple factors, in multiple contexts, in multiple way. So, for example, this group for the cohesiveness of the group is happening because of all those people are belongs to a particular identity. We can explain that using social identity theory. Or, for example, a particular group of people are staying together because they are getting benefited from that group. We can explain that with the social exchange theory. So there are different theories that we can explain group cohesiveness. Any theory you can take actually. Um, like
Any means like
yeah,
any
yeah.
means
Any social
scientific
psychological
scientist.
theory, any, yeah, basically, because it's basically the group means humans only, right? So
Like
even you
Bacon
can take a
theory, sir? Like
even you can take a psychoanalytical theory and explain group cohesiveness, basically.
I
Yeah.
just wanted to know about means like the scientist who has just started this theory. Like Alport has given his view. Like that.
Actually, your voice is breaking. I'm not able to. Yeah. Can you repeat once again?
Like few psychologists like Alport has given his suggestions, his views about it. Like Bacon has given. Like you have given few examples of Paul Rogers regarding that, how
Uh-huh.
to correlate with the self-role congruence theory and like
Mm-hmm.
a sense
Now,
of
self-role congruence,
willingness, how
it's not a theory. Self-role congruence is not a theory. It's a concept.
in
There is,
humanistic approach,
yeah,
like the
yeah,
way of
that's it. Yeah,
approach.
that is person.
In
That
that
is
way,
ideal self, real self. Don't mix these two things, because
no.
role.
I just give an example, like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
way you
yes,
have
yeah,
given example, like
yeah,
that
exactly.
cohesiveness, like
Like,
this
yeah, social
community.
identity theory. If you are taking social identity theory, we can say, like, for example, people who are working in abroad. So we can say that these people are like internationals, and but they are working abroad, so they will all come together. For example, people who are working in US or UK, like for example, Indians. So they have a group. So they have these people who belongs to the group are different age, different caste, different class, different religion, different educational background, different geographical. Everything is different, but the only thing that connect them, everything is they are Indians. So that gives a kind of cohesiveness to them. For example, if you are taking, so that is identity. So I'm a student. So I I feel more comfortable and safe and feel to express independent, like without any kind of inhibition in the group of students, because we are similar. So we share similar identity as a student. So I would like to stay in that group. And if I am a student and I am being with a group of faculties, then there is a problem, because their identities are as a faculties and my identity is uh, uh, as a student. So I can stay there, but I feel very uncomfortable because I won't be having freedom to express, because I have to be very careful because these people are elder people. So I won't I have to be very conscious, and once that group process is over, I feel very exhausted. Right. So because simply we can explain that with the social identity theory, because that particular person don't share that same identity with the other person. So it may have a kind of uncomfortable feeling inside them. That is there. So social identity theory, we can like that. We can take social exchange theory. Like employees, we can take employee association. Why employee association? Because they have to be get benefited for their effort and everything. So they need a group for that, and they have to be stay in that group because they have to be get benefited. And if they leave one by one from the group, then the size of the group will get reduced. Then no one will recognize the group. Then there is no voice for that group. So it's very important for that employee welfare group should be stronger and together. So why it is staying stronger and together? Because it is providing some kind of benefit to their members. So that is social exchange theory. So like that, we can explain group cohesiveness and all other things using any theories. Yeah. Am I clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Actually, when I raised a question when Mama in the field. Sorry, if you can continue your question. If he is dropped off, I can ask. Yeah, but it is very difficult to maintain a group when taking a drastic, very important decisions and social decisions, which will be left to the group leader. So that will become an individual decision towards the
Yeah.
for
See,
the entire
this
team, like
is
for the political party. Like we have
yeah,
like
exactly.
and
So here where the role of research comes. So we have this theory, and we observed in reality that something like this is happening. So we have a couple of theories and everything, and we are trying to explain those social behavior using the existing theory. But somehow this theory is not able to explain proper. Something is missing. So there we start doing research. We explore something is missing or something else is happening. So that is how we expand the theories, how we discard the theories, we create new theories. So theory is not the answer for everything. Research is the answer for everything, basically. Don't we have existing theories which developed through research, but that doesn't mean that theory will explain everything that is going to happen in the future because society is changing, culture is changing, human is changing. So theory should be also change. Psychological theory should also change. Social identity theory may also expand in the near future. Yeah, because research is
Excuse
happening.
me, sir. What exactly I
Yeah.
want to say this only. Just
Yeah.
that madam was doesn't accepting me. So just use whatever you explain to us, na.
Yeah.
That is I want to say that time.
Okay. So this is exactly the same thing. Yeah. So theories are basically testable, like verified hypothesis, basically. That is what we call theory. Theories are verified hypothesis. It is verified. That doesn't mean it is absolute truth. Okay. Verified
but there is
means
no criticism has been come up. So we may accept that type of
yeah. For every theories, there will be a criticism. There won't
criticism.
be. We have a separate discipline called critical psychology to
But
criticize the
the
psychology
criticism
itself.
is accepted when they prove it. They come up with a new point of view
Yeah,
why they
exactly,
have
exactly,
criticized. So
exactly.
until that
Like
is proved, this theory of hypothesis has to be accepted. If they don't
no,
propose,
it's not like we are in that is we are thinking in the context of a research or a dissertation or a project. What I'm saying is in the broader concept of the expanding the discipline itself. For doing a research or a master's level project or a PhD dissertation, that is different thing. But expanding or changing a theory is different. Can't simply change a theory using a small research or something. We need a because there you can see there is a theory of recent action and theory of planned behavior. There's two theories which explain human behavior in multiple contexts. So theory of planned behavior is the extended version of theory of recent action, but still we use theory of recent action and we still use theory of planned behavior. Even theory of planned behavior is the extension of theory of recent action. because after a lot of research, the psychologists identify there are certain other factors that can lead to human behavior. So they added certain factors that lead to theory of planned behavior from theory of representation. So the theories will change, theories will adapt, theories will modify. Some theories will be completely discarded. Yeah, because psychology is a social science. Basically, it takes resources from science, it takes resources from social science, it takes resources from humanities, arts, everywhere. So,
That exactly refer the term of risky shift.
sorry.
Yeah, does this exactly explains about the term risky shift?
Uh, which term?
Risky shift.
Actually, I didn't get the word. Can you type that word in the chat box? Yeah, the class is actually the time is over. This is just a discussion. If anyone wants to leave, people can leave. This is
Excuse me,
just
sir.
a discussion. Yeah.
Sir, one small doubt, sir. Just now only we
Yeah.
discussed about the social loafing, no, sir. What is
Huh.
the routine language in our normal language? What is the exact meaning of this loafing, sir?
Yeah, that is
I couldn't
difficult to say
understand, sir.
basically. Because we can't, because we have to use that word only. Because we can't use the word laziness or anything else. Because social laughing is happen when a certain psychological process happens in a person's mind. It's not laziness. It's not procrastination. It is not disinterest. No, it is not anything like that. That's why we don't have a layman term for social loafing. But we can say it in a way that a person, we can identify social loafing is a process basically. It's a social process. It only happens in the social context. It won't happen in individual behavior, in a
Sir, will you
interpersonal.
give an example, sir?
Yeah. So, for example, a person joined in a company. For example, a person joined in a company,
Oh,
and that person was working well, and that person had a good job records and everything, and he was working. The person was working in the company, and after a point, the outcome, the productivity, or whatever that the group is expecting from the person is not getting. It's getting reduced. The person's efficiency, the productivity is getting reduced, and when they and obviously, there will be in every companies there will be HR and the mental health coaching, wellness coach, and everything. If and when they are doing this session, they get to know that this person is having problem with their self-esteem, self-confidence, and their belief on their own efficacy. So the person is not having such thing, and then they are having sessions, and they identify that the reason that person is not having that confidence or the self-esteem or the competency to finish the task because that person feeling like that he is not being identified as a good employer or a well for like
Jolly.
yeah, exactly. So basically it can happen within the individual, even the company and the or even the employers are giving well attention and reward and feedback and everything. Still, social loafing can happen. So that's why social loafing doesn't have a layman term because is there a layman term for depression? No, we use depression, schizophrenia. So like that, it's a psychological term, social loafing. So we can't use any term because if we use any other term, then it will connect associated with that. Because social loafing is not laziness. Social loafing is not procrastination. No, social loafing is a psychological process basically, and it is happens in a group context. And why it is happening? Because the person thinks. Have to be very careful. The person thinks that that the person's contribution to the group is not recognized. It's that person's thought. It may happen, it may not happen. Maybe the company or maybe that organization may not giving the attention. Maybe it is giving the attention because it is happening inside the person's mind. So that's why it is very mandatory to have a wellness person or a counselor or psychologist, someone in the organizational settings to identify such processes to avoid it because it will happen in that context. Social loafing won't happen in a family settings because it is something different. Right. So it is always happens in that kind of settings. So social loafing, better we call it social loafing than any other layman term. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So right, about risky.
Yeah, risky shift. So risky shift, yeah, it's it's a unhealthy pattern that is happening. You're talking in the context of work environment, right? Risky shift.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a problematic.
Not only in the work environment, in the context of the theories also, like upgradations, like basing on the hypothesis coming up the picture. So this we have. I just correlated with whatever the explanation you have. So is this like we can just connect to that topic?
Risky shift with risky shift is basically a behavioral thing. It is not coming within the control of person, no. Because,
group decisions, like sometimes it can be like the decision making may overnight it can turn on the positions of like if we come under the context of the work, so the company's output can be like stock market can really go to the peak, or it may even fall because of the one decision. So this decision, the shift, whatever they are making in the decisions, taking the risk is the factor which is impacted in.
Yeah, got it. So actually, we can address this question in two contexts. Okay, because one, it is if we are discussing this issue in the context of social psychology, the explanation will be completely different. And if we are explaining this particular question in the context of organizational behavior, it will be different.
But I want to know in the context of the social psychology, because I correlated theory. Like one hypothesis has come up and the critical.
So it's basically it can
may
affect,
be right or not.
Yeah, it can affect because definitely, because that it's a shift means change, right? So any kind of change need time to adapt. So risky shift means if the person is capable of carrying out that replacement, that risky shift process, then it is fine. But we don't know. We can't predict, because some people are very dynamically they will handle they will handle they will handle.
I don't want to change my room actually. I'm just going for you.
So I will it's in different way actually. So for example, if you are taking doctors, doctors live in risky shift settings. All kind of their life is unpredicted, uncertain, because that is the situation they are dealing. So, but the training they have got, or the training they have been trained, is helping them to deal with that situation. But what if the person is not get trained in that situation? Then yeah, definitely it will affect everything.
But doctors, they play individual, not in individual.
Like again, it's about basic. Yeah, again in the group. So for example, if you are taking a group of students, okay, anything like it's basically this there. Why we are calling it a risky shift? These things are actually signboard. Yeah, okay. I got the message like time up, so we can continue the discussion on next class.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you.